Target CEO shreds Kamala Harris's claim that retailers are price gouging. I haven't seen this clip yet, but rightfully, he should shred her because there is no price gouging going on. We all know the real reason why the prices of things are so expensive is because of the government spending, because of Harris Biden's irrational spending. We got the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act that caused even more inflation, and they just spending us into oblivion. Y'all know that's what I always say about that. And now they're talking about wanting to control the prices, straight out of the communist Soviet Union. This is crazy. We know it don't work from history. We know that it's just going to make inflation even worse. When you have government, whenever government jumps in to so-called save us, they always make things worse. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, check me out on X where I post news and thoughts throughout the day there as well. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Slay News, the great Frank Bergman. And he reports that Brian Cornell, the CEO of retail giant Target, has slammed claims by Kamala Harris and other gaslighting Democrats that retailers have been price gouging. Excuse me. The Democrat presidential nominee and her allies have sought to deflect blame for crushing inflation and the Biden-Harris economy away from the administration's disastrous economic policies. I mean, of course, I always say they're not going to blame themselves. I mean, you really think they would take any type of accountability? This administration has taken accountability for absolutely nothing. Every single policy decision, every single decision in general that has harmed us, and they know has harmed us, they have never came out and taken accountability. They never said, oops, our bad. At least if you try something and it doesn't work, at least say, you know what, I messed up. Let's try something else that could possibly work. But no, they take absolutely no accountability for anything, especially this terrible economy. Well, rather than admit to the problem and offer solutions, Harris is trying to gaslight voters into believing that consumers are being hurt by retailers raising their prices to boost profits. And again, we know this is not true because now even places like Walmart and stuff are actually dropping their prices because it's about supply and demand. People don't have the money to spend like they normally spend. So now they're actually lowering some of their prices to get people back into the door. This is without government intervention. Why would you want government intervention in the first place? Like I said, it never works. It never works. But additionally, the claims seek to quietly advance the anti-capitalist agenda of Harris's radical campaign. That's exactly what it is. Last week, Harris announced that her plan to combat inflation was to implement communist-style price controls. I did tons of video on that already. However, most economists vehemently opposed the plan. During the interview on CNBC, Target's Cornell was asked, have you boosted any of your profits from gouging on prices? And how prevalent and pervasive do you think that was in terms of causing the recent 40-year highs inflation? So let's play this clip. Again, this is crazy. Government is the reason why inflation is high. But anyway, let's play this clip.
Have you boosted any of your profits from gouging on prices yet, Brian? And how prevalent and pervasive do you think that was in terms of causing the recent 40-year highs in inflation?
Joe, again, we talked about the fact we reduced prices on 5,000 items, but values in our DNA. You go back to the brand promise.
See, they're reducing prices too. I didn't even know that. Target's reducing prices too. So across the board, they're lowering prices, excuse me, because people aren't spending like they normally spend. And that's the free market at work. But the government don't want that. They want to go in and control these things.
Promise. Expect more, pay less. It's what we do each and every day.
You haven't done that. Do you think it's that? Do you know anyone who has? Any of your competitors?
Yeah. So I'll put my retail hat on for a second. mean, you two talk to industry leaders in every different sector. Is there a more competitive space than retail? You know,
No.
big multinationals,
or
local
lower
retailers.
margins, or
Right.
lower overall
And,
margins.
right, we're celebrating this morning the fact that we delivered, you know, a margin rate of over 6%. You talk to other CEOs
6%.
who are delivering income of 20, 30,
Tech
40,
companies.
50%.
Yeah, tech
so
companies.
I made that same claim in a previous video. The margins on like grocery stores and the margins on like retailers are not that high. 6% is really, if you think about it, compared to like tech companies and places like that who get like 20, 30%, have 20, 30% margins, 6% is really not that high. And so where's the price gouging happening?
we're in a penny business.
Well, should we
And-
go after them?
Well, I think from a retail standpoint, though, you've got physical stores, you've got digital stores, you can shop socially. People can pull up their phone like Becky and check the price of milk at Target
She
and
does
other
that.
retailers.
She does that too. So does Andrew.
So it is a penny business, and it's a very competitive space, and we provide the value consumers are looking for.
Can I ask you one other thing?
Of course you can.
You sure? We talked about it a little. I'm sort of crazy. I think corporate tax rate should be zero. I do. I want to compete globally as well as we can. We can find other ways to do it, to raise taxes somewhere else. But I want our corporations to beat all their global competitors and have all the money to innovate and do everything that they do. So we're now hearing it was 34. We went to 21. Most people thought that was too far. Back to 28 would be a good move. Would that hurt the corporate sector if we went back to 28?
Joe, from where I sit, I mean, Target's one of these great American companies. All of our 2,000 stores are right here in the United States. We employ over 400,000 team members that are mostly here in the U.S. And we're a full fare payer. When it was 35, we paid 35%. When it dropped to 22,
They say
we
no
paid
one.
22.
They say no one does that.
Well,
yeah.
we did. But more importantly, Joe, when the taxes were reduced, we put our capital to work. Since 2017, when the corporate taxes were reduced, we've spent close to $50 billion of capital. Building new stores across the country, remodeling over 1,000 stores.
Would that have
building
been
DCs.
less if it was 28%?
And that's what most businesses do. And studies even show that most of the time when businesses get these tax cuts like that, most of the time they put that money back into the business to get even bigger. Which means they hire more people and they create more jobs.
Well, it certainly gave us a chance to accelerate investments. But we put the dollars back into our business. It's helped us grow since 2017. Our top line almost $40 billion.
What if your
and I think
wages
it's the way
grow since
America
then, too?
should work.
Right. What?
See, and this is what happened when you have a Kamala Harris, you have a Biden, you have someone that never ever worked in the private sector and know absolutely nothing about economics. I mean, even in a little sense. And they come up with these dumb policies that will end up hurting everyone else. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.